Hello and welcome to another edition of Toys from the Attic. For today's episode, I thought I'd be taking a look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles' new character, Newtralizer. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at this guy. As far as the box art goes, I mean, there's not really much else to say about it. It's the standard blister card packaging that we're all accustomed to. You have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo right here at the top, the Newtralizer's name prominently displayed at the bottom, all your warning signs, your ages 4 and up, all the other logos right here, and the 4 guys right on the side. There's not really much else to it. Now the back of the box is actually where it becomes a little bit more interesting. Next to the image of the Newtralizer, we're given his little bio right here, listing his personality and backstory, along with giving us the names of his weapons and listing him as a member of Team Turtle. I find that actually kind of odd, because if you know him from the show, he's really this psychotic killer with a huge vendetta against the Krang. He's actually seen to attack the Turtles just as much as anybody else in the show, so I'm not really sure why they labeled him as one of the good guys. I could actually say the same thing about some of the other bad guys down here, but I'll get into them for another day. This is probably just one of those things when they were asking the toy makers, who do you think if he's a good guy or a bad guy, they probably just threw him on the good guys team without really thinking about how he was going to be portrayed in the show. Anyways, without anything else, let's open this guy up and take a closer look at him. Okay, so here we have the Newtralizer out of the box. Now, where do I begin with this guy? I think not having any figures from the past to compare him to really helps him stand out on his own. He's a new character, we're really not sure how he's fitting into the new series, and that just helps add a little bit of mystery to him. He also seems to invoke these 3 different ideals that kind of just meld together really nicely. A lot of the armor on him has an overabundance of pouches that kind of gives that feel of Cable or Bishop from the X-Men. Just back in the 90s, everything had to have pouches. The pattern on his chest also kind of feels a little bit like a skull, and you kind of think of the Punisher when you see it. Some of the other weapons that he comes with, like especially this little blade disc, reminds me of one of the things that the Predators used to use. If you've ever seen Predator 2, you know that they had this little blade disc that would cut through just about anything they would throw it at. He also comes with this nice little dagger right here that can fit into a sheath on the side of his leg right down here. He kind of can hold it okay, but it doesn't fit in his hand all that well. As far as his articulation goes, I mean, his head can move side to side, and his arms can move up and down, just about any which way. He has no elbow articulation, and his wrists can move side to side. I will say this before I go on to his legs. His armor is this nice, soft, rubbery plastic, so it doesn't hinder any of the movement or poses you can get with his arms. He only has these joints right here on his legs that allow him to actually get some good kicking motions right out here if you want to ever display this guy in some nice poses. But there's no knee articulation, so he's going to be kind of stuck in this kind of stance a little bit. His tail can move side to side like this, and that's just about it. As far as the paint job goes on him, I mean, he's fairly good, but there are some things that are missing, like there's a little armband right here, some pouches on his leg, the little blade on his tail, and the little tendrils from the Krangs that he's hunted. Those are all things that could use some paint jobs on him, but I can overlook that because part of the fun I find with these Ninja Turtle figures is actually getting some custom paint and really touching them up myself, so that's not a big deal. Height-wise goes, he's almost as tall as the Turtles, which is sort of okay. I mean, in the show, he towers over him just a little bit. I think he's maybe a head or two taller than him. But this size is fairly good, and I can overlook that. Anyways, I'm not really sure what else to say about him. He's a pretty cool character, actually, if you think about it. And just his weapons and his look on him just screams badass, if you think about it. I would definitely say if you're a big Turtles fan and you're a fan of the new series, I'd definitely say try to pick this guy up. Once again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed what you've seen today, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, or leave a comment below in the comment section. Any advice for the show will be greatly appreciated. Who knows, something you suggest may appear on the show in the future.